I never thought I'd be in a situation like this, but here I am trying to make sense of everything that's happened. My name's Mike, and I was with my wife, Emily, for about 8 years. We had our ups and downs, but I always thought we were solid. She was the kind of woman you'd call high maintenance, always dressing up, demanding the best, and honestly pretty bitchy when she didn't get her way. Still, I loved her, or at least I thought I did. Things started feeling off a few months ago. Emily started acting distant more than usual. She'd come home late claiming work, always with some excuse about how she was trying to climb the corporate ladder or networking. But I could tell there was more to it. She'd be secretive with her phone, hiding her screen when I'd walk into the room, and her mood swings became more frequent. One day I found her deleting texts, something she always denied doing. At first, I brushed it off as her being paranoid or overthinking, but deep down I knew something was wrong. Then, there were the little things. The way she started dressing sexier around the house, sometimes. Even wearing lingerie, which she claimed was for her own confidence. She'd also disappear for hours without telling me where she was going. I asked her about it, but she'd roll her eyes and dismiss me with a snarky comment about how I was overreacting. Still, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was brewing. I even started checking her social media, but she was too smart for that, changing passwords, deleting messages, making sure she left no trace. It was obvious she was hiding something, but I didn't have the proof yet. Then came the day I found it. I was cleaning up the house on a Saturday afternoon, just trying to get some semblance of normalcy when my phone buzzed. I glanced at it and saw an alert from our shared email account, a new message from someone named Jake. Curious, I clicked open. My stomach dropped when I saw the subject line, "Can't wait to see you tonight, miss you." I thought it was just a work thing, maybe some guy she was talking to about a project, but then I read the message. It wasn't work-related at all. It was a flirty, intimate conversation full of promises, mentions of sneaking around, and a lot of sex talk. My wife was texting another man, and from the tone of the messages, it wasn't just some innocent chat. I stared at the screen for what felt like forever. My heart was pounding, my mind racing. I didn't want to believe it. I kept telling myself maybe it was just a joke, maybe a misunderstanding, but the words on that screen told a different story. She was cheating on me. With my best friend, no less. His name's Dave, and we've known each other for years. I never thought Emily would do something like this, especially not with someone I trusted. That betrayal hit me like a freight train, and in that moment I knew my marriage was over. I needed to confront her, but I also needed to think about what this really meant for me. I didn't sleep that night. I just sat there, staring at my phone, rereading those messages from Jake, trying to convince myself I was imagining it, that maybe there was some kind of misunderstanding. But deep down, I knew the truth. My wife, Emily, was screwing around with my best friend. Dave, how could I have missed all the signs? I was blindsided. I kept asking myself how long this had been going on, how deep their betrayal ran. The next morning, I decided I couldn't keep pretending everything was okay. I needed to talk to her face to face. I called her, told her I needed to see her right away. When she arrived, she had that bitchy smirk on her face, like she already knew she had the upper hand. I didn't waste time. I threw the phone on the table and showed her the messages. Her eyes widened, but then she quickly recovered with one of her typical sarcastic smirks. "Oh, come on, Mike," she said, crossing her arms. "It's just some stupid banter. We're not doing anything serious. You're overreacting again." Her eyes sparkled with that bitchy arrogance, like she thought she was untouchable. I felt my blood boil. "Serious? You're texting my best friend, talking about missing each other, sex, sneaking around. That's not just banter, Emily. That's betrayal." "How long has this been going on?" She rolled her eyes and shrugged. "Look, I get it. You're upset. But honestly, I was just lonely after the funeral. Dave was there for me. We're just friends, nothing more. I don't know why you're making a big deal out of it." Her words sounded rehearsed, like she had been practicing that line. I could see right through her. She was lying. She always did that, twist the truth, pretend she was innocent, play the victim. I felt a terrible mix of anger, sadness, and disappointment. How could she be so callous? Her betrayal wasn't just about some text messages. It was about her disrespecting everything we had, everything I believed in. I realized how much I had trusted her, how much I had loved her, only to find out she had been sneaking around behind my back. I wanted to scream, to shake her, but I just stood there numb. The thing is, I wasn't just angry anymore. I was heartbroken. I started questioning everything, her motives, her feelings, whether she had ever truly loved me. And that's when I decided I needed to do something about it. I couldn't just walk away without making her pay for the pain she caused me. I wanted her to feel the sting of betrayal, the way I felt right then. That's when I started planning my revenge, but I'll tell you, it wasn't going to be simple. I knew she was manipulative, a liar, and she would try to spin her way out of this somehow. I had to be smart, calculated. I needed a plan that would hit her where it hurt without leaving me completely destroyed. After the initial shock wore off, I started thinking clearly, or at least as clearly as I could under the circumstances. I realized confronting her again and again wasn't going to change anything. It only gave her more chances to lie her way out. I needed a way to get proof, something undeniable that would really hit her hard and make her realize I wasn't going to be played like a fool. So, I quietly started digging. I installed a keylogger on her phone, something I knew was risky, but I needed to see what she was hiding. Over the next few days, I kept a close eye on her digital trail, making sure she didn't suspect a thing. It wasn't easy, and honestly, it felt dirty, but I didn't see another choice. I caught her deleting more messages, hiding her photos, trying to cover her tracks, but I had enough to see the pattern. She was meeting with Dave, not just texting. They'd gone out for drinks, had late-night encounters, and from the photos she accidentally left on her phone, I saw her in bed with him more than once. I felt my stomach turn. Then came the moment I knew I had enough. I was at work when she called me, acting all innocent, saying she was at the grocery store, just running errands. But I knew better. I checked her location and she was nowhere near the store. Instead, she was at Dave's place. I downloaded the location data and photos she'd left behind. Everything was there, proof she was actively cheating on me with my best friend. That was the point. I decided I couldn't wait any longer. I needed to confront her again, but this time with everything laid out on the table. I called her, told her I knew everything and that we needed to talk. I could hear her trying to deny it, shifting the blame, twisting her words to make it seem like it was my fault. She kept insisting they were just working things out, that it meant nothing, that I was overreacting again. Typical Emily, lying, playing her victim, and trying to manipulate the truth to fit her narrative. But I wasn't buying it anymore. I had the evidence, and I was ready to make her face it. When she finally showed up at my place, her face was full of that false innocence, like she thought she could talk her way out of it. She sat down, started her usual bullshit about how she needed space, how Dave was just a distraction, how she loved me but was just lost. I told her to shut up. I said, "You can lie all you want, Emily, but I've seen the photos, the messages, the times you've been with him. You've been screwing my best friend behind my back, and I don't want to hear your bullshit anymore." Her eyes narrowed, and then she started crying, fake tears streaming down her face like she was the victim here. Honestly, I felt nothing but pure rage. I wanted to shake her, make her own up to her lies, make her feel what I was feeling. But I also knew this was just the beginning. The betrayal ran deep, and now I had to decide what to do next, whether to forgive her and try to fix this mess or to cut her loose for good. The emotional toll was exhausting, but deep down, I knew I couldn't stay with someone who had shown me she was capable of this level of betrayal. I just didn't know yet how I was going to turn this around, whether by revenge, walking away, or something else entirely. That confrontation left me drained but also more determined than ever. I couldn't just let her walk away after all the lies, the cheating, the manipulation. I wanted her to feel what it was like to be betrayed so completely, and I knew I had to come up with a plan that would hit her where it really hurt. I started thinking about what revenge would look like, not just some petty shouting match, but something that would make her realize I wasn't someone she could treat like that and get away with it. I spent the next few days quietly plotting. I knew Emily was the type to lie her way out of anything, so I needed something airtight. I decided I'd get a private investigator. I found someone discreet, someone who could follow her around and get footage, any proof of her ongoing affair, her lies, her manipulations. I didn't want just snapshots. I wanted her caught in the act if I could manage it. The pie started tailing her, and sure enough, within a week, I had videos of her sneaking out of Dave's house late at night, meeting him at restaurants, even going to a hotel. Seeing her actually in the act, caught on camera, made everything so real. It was like watching a bad dream I couldn't wake up from. Meanwhile, I was gathering everything, screenshots, recordings, everything I could to make sure she couldn't spin her way out of it again. I wasn't going to give her the chance. I knew she'd try to play the victim, cry her crocodile tears, and come up with some story to dodge responsibility. But I had everything now, and I planned to use it. One night, I set up a meeting with her. I told her I had something important to say and wanted to do it in person. She arrived, still trying to act innocent, but I could see the nervousness in her eyes. I pulled out the footage on my phone, played it right in front of her. Her face went pale and she stammered, trying to deny it, trying to gaslight me again. But I was ready. I told her, "This is it. I know everything. You've been cheating on me with Dave and I've got proof. You thought you could lie your way out of this, but I'm done playing your games." She broke down then, tears streaming, begging me to forgive her, saying she was lost, that she didn't really want to hurt me, that she made a mistake. But I wasn't buying it. I looked her in the eyes and said, "You lied to me for months. You betrayed me with my own best friend. I don't think I can trust you again, Emily. I don't think I want to stay married to someone who would do this to me, who would lie and cheat and betray everything we ever had." Her tears kept coming, but I felt nothing but cold resolve. I knew I had to decide what to do next. The emotional roller coaster was brutal: anger, hurt, betrayal, disappointment, all crashing over me at once. I knew I couldn't keep pretending everything was fine. I had to face the fact that my marriage was over, that I needed to move on. The question was how. Would I try to fix it? Would I forgive her? Or would I finally stand up and walk away? The choice loomed heavy, but I already knew the answer deep down. After that night, everything changed. I felt like I had been hit by a truck, but somehow I also felt free. Like I had finally taken the mask off, seen the ugly truth, and was ready to face whatever came next. The betrayal still haunted me, but I knew I couldn't keep living in this nightmare. Emily kept crying, begging, promising she'd change, but I couldn't believe a word of it. Her words felt hollow, just more lies. I realized that trust, that fragile thing I had clung to for so long, was shattered beyond repair. So I made the decision. I told her I wanted a divorce. I needed to get out of this toxic mess, to reclaim my life. She threw a fit, of course, accusing me of overreacting, trying to make me feel guilty. But I didn't care. I knew I deserved better than someone who would cheat on me with my best friend and then lie about it. I started packing my things, feeling a mixture of relief and deep sadness. It was over, and I knew I had to move forward, even if it hurt like hell. In the days that followed, I kept reflecting on everything: the lies, the deception, the betrayal. I was angry at Dave, too, for crossing that line and destroying what we had. But mostly, I was angry at Emily for how she played me, how she used her words to manipulate and lie her way out of accountability. Still, I also realized something important. I needed to focus on myself now. I couldn't change what she did, but I could decide how I was going to live from here. I started seeing a counselor to help me process the pain, the anger, the confusion. I wasn't just mourning the loss of my marriage. I was mourning the trust I had lost in her. It was a long road, and I knew I'd have good days and bad days, but I was determined to rebuild my life piece by piece. I cut ties with Emily completely, no contact, no excuses. I also blocked Dave, realizing that sometimes the people you trust most can let you down the hardest. Looking back, I see now that this whole ordeal taught me a lot about boundaries, trust, and self-respect. I learned that sometimes people show you who they really are, not with words but with actions. And I learned that revenge, while satisfying in the moment, doesn't bring long-term peace. What matters most is that I took back control of my life, and I'm working toward healing. If I have any advice for anyone in a similar situation, it's this: trust your instincts. Don't ignore the signs, and don't let anyone make you feel crazy for feeling hurt. And most importantly, never stay in a toxic relationship out of fear or obligation. You deserve honesty, respect, and loyalty, nothing less. Now, as I sit here and write all this down, I realize how much I've grown through this chaos. The pain, the betrayal, the lies, they all taught me tough lessons about love, trust, and what I truly deserve. Emily's betrayal was a punch to the gut, but it also forced me to reevaluate everything. I thought I knew about her, about myself. I used to believe in loyalty and honesty, but I learned that sometimes the people closest to you are the ones who can hurt you the most. In the end, I found my strength not in revenge, but in acceptance. I had to accept that some things, some people, just aren't worth saving. I had to let go of the anger that threatened to consume me and focus instead on healing. That's what I'm doing now. I'm rebuilding my life piece by piece. I'm reconnecting with old friends, focusing on my career, and most importantly, learning to love myself again. I want anyone reading this to know that betrayal is the end of the world. It's a painful chapter, sure, but it's also an opportunity for growth. You can come out of it stronger, wiser, and more self-aware. Trust is fragile, but it's also something you can rebuild if you're willing to do the hard work. And sometimes, walking away is the best choice you can make. If there's one thing I've learned, it's that no one has the right to treat you with disrespect. You are worth more than lies, cheating, and manipulation. Keep your head high, stay true to yourself, and never settle for less than you deserve. Life will throw curveballs, but you have the power to choose how you respond. I'm still healing, still figuring out my future, but I know one thing for sure. I'll never let someone's betrayal define me. I'll take what I've learned and move forward, stronger and wiser than before.